Have you ever started something with excitement and energy, only to find that a few days or weeks later, your motivation fades and your progress stalls? The world is full of talented people with brilliant ideas, but most fail not because they lack skill, but because they lack consistency. Today, we are going to solve the problem of inconsistency and discover how forcing yourself to stay disciplined can transform your results in ways that short bursts of effort never can. Consistency is the hidden bridge between dreams and reality. Talent, motivation, or even luck can start a journey, but only consistent action sustains it and turns it into achievement. Many of us rely on feelings, mood, or inspiration to guide our efforts, but these are unreliable. Life throws challenges, distractions, and doubts that easily break a streak of motivation. The key is to develop a mindset where consistency becomes non-negotiable, not optional. Today, we will explore 4 principles that help you force yourself to stay consistent, and how each of them can lead to a life of discipline, progress, and success. Consistency begins with routine. Without structure, even the strongest intentions crumble under the weight of distraction and indecision. A routine is like a railway track. It guides your energy in the right direction, prevents derailment, and keeps you moving forward even when motivation wanes. The first step in forcing yourself to be consistent is to create habits that are non-negotiable. Tasks that you commit to completing daily, regardless of mood, circumstance, or comfort. Many people believe that consistency is about grand actions, but in reality, it is the small, repeated actions that compound over time. Think of brushing your teeth, exercising for 10 minutes, or writing a single paragraph daily. These may seem insignificant in the moment, but the power lies in repetition. When you enforce a daily routine, you eliminate the mental debate of whether to act or not. You no longer rely on fleeting feelings. Your actions become automatic. And this automation is the foundation of consistency. Building a non-negotiable routine also teaches discipline. Life will always present distractions. A tempting Netflix series, an invitation to relax, or the allure of procrastination. When you commit to a routine, you train yourself to prioritize long-term results over short-term comfort. This is crucial because the difference between success and stagnation is rarely talent. It is the willingness to show up every single day. Another important aspect is clarity. A defined routine removes confusion and decision fatigue. When you know exactly what to do, when to do it, and why it matters, there is no space for hesitation. Every day becomes an opportunity to move forward, and progress becomes inevitable. Your mind learns to value consistency over inspiration, because inspiration is unreliable, but routine is predictable and controllable. Consistency also cultivates resilience. There will be days when you feel tired, uninspired, or overwhelmed. On these days, a non-negotiable routine becomes your anchor. Even minimal effort counts. Showing up, even in small ways, creates momentum and prevents the spiral of procrastination. It's like planting seeds in a garden. Watering them daily, even if it's just a little, ensures that growth occurs. Missing a day may seem harmless, but missing one day often leads to missing many. And the rhythm of consistency is broken. Finally, a non-negotiable routine transforms your mindset. You stop waiting for motivation or perfect conditions. You act because action itself is the habit. You internalize the truth that results do not come from sporadic effort, but from disciplined persistence. When you enforce this daily structure, consistency is no longer a struggle, it becomes a way of life. You train yourself to honor commitments to yourself, and this self-respect fuels further consistency, creating a cycle of growth that is unstoppable. Consistency thrives not in giant leaps, but in small, deliberate steps. Many people fail to stay consistent because they aim only for big results and judge their progress against lofty goals. When the results don't come immediately, frustration sets in and motivation dwindles. The key is to break your journey into manageable, achievable actions that accumulate over time. Each small win is a building block that reinforces your habit, strengthens your resolve, and keeps you moving forward. Think about the bamboo tree, which grows silently underground for years before it shoots up rapidly. Its growth is invisible at first, but the daily unseen progress is critical. Similarly, focusing on small wins allows you to acknowledge progress, even when the ultimate goal feels distant. Every time you complete a task, however minor, you reinforce your ability to follow through. This reinforcement builds confidence, making it easier to show up the next day. Small wins also reduce mental resistance. When a task feels overwhelming, it is easy to procrastinate or avoid it altogether. Breaking it into smaller, manageable steps turns a mountain into a series of hills. You no longer rely on motivation to tackle an intimidating goal, because each step is achievable, and the accumulation of steps naturally leads to significant progress. By celebrating these small victories, you create a positive feedback loop that makes consistency enjoyable rather than burdensome. Another crucial point is the psychology of momentum. Human behavior responds strongly to a sense of progress. Even minor achievements trigger a feeling of accomplishment, which releases positive reinforcement chemicals in the brain. This creates motivation to continue, not as an external force, but as an internal drive. In other words, consistent small actions create their own energy, sustaining you when motivation alone cannot. Focusing on small wins also prevents burnout. Many people quit because they try to do too much at once or measure success by unrealistic expectations. When you concentrate on incremental improvement, your energy is preserved, your enthusiasm remains intact, and your journey becomes sustainable. Over time, these small wins compound like interest, resulting in extraordinary outcomes that appear almost magical to those observing from the outside. Finally, small wins teach patience and humility. Life does not reward impatience or arrogance, it rewards persistence. By valuing the little steps, you cultivate a mindset that honors effort and progress rather than instant gratification. You learn that consistency is not about speed, but about direction. You learn that showing up every day, even when results are invisible, is a triumph in itself. This focus on small wins turns consistency into a habit and eventually a way of life. Consistency cannot thrive in an environment full of distractions. Every day, our attention is pulled in countless directions: social media notifications, emails, unnecessary meetings, and even our own wandering thoughts. Each distraction chips away at your focus, reduces productivity, and undermines your efforts to remain consistent. To force yourself to be consistent, you must first take control of your environment. You must create space both physically and mentally where you can dedicate uninterrupted attention to your goals. Think about it. A sharp arrow can only hit its target if it is released in a straight path. Any deviation caused by wind or obstruction affects its trajectory. Similarly, your actions only lead to results when your energy is directed consistently toward your objective. Eliminating distractions is not about perfection. It is about designing your surroundings to make consistency easier, almost automatic. This might mean turning off notifications, scheduling focused work sessions, or creating a dedicated workspace free from interruptions. The less your attention is scattered, the more effortless your consistent actions become. Equally important is accountability. When you commit to someone, or even yourself, your likelihood of following through increases. Accountability acts as an external structure that reinforces internal discipline. It could be as simple as sharing your goal with a trusted friend, joining a group of like-minded individuals, or keeping a daily journal to track your progress. These practices provide reminders and gentle nudges that keep you on track, even on days when motivation is low. Accountability also adds clarity. When you know that someone else is aware of your progress or lack of it, you are more conscious of your action. You start thinking twice before giving into procrastination or excuses. This external check complements the internal habit of showing up, making consistency less reliant on fleeting feelings and more dependent on deliberate choice. Moreover, removing distractions and staying accountable develops resilience. Life is unpredictable, and consistency often requires perseverance through challenges, setbacks, and interruption. By cultivating focus and accountability, you strengthen your mental muscles to resist temptations and overcome obstacles. You learn to prioritize what truly matters over what is urgent or convenient. You internalize the understanding that every moment spent distracted is a moment lost. This awareness gradually molds your behavior toward disciplined, intentional action. Distraction and lack of accountability also amplify the illusion of busyness. Many people feel productive because they are constantly doing something, but their actions are fragmented and unfocused. True consistency is not about being busy. It is about moving steadily toward your goal every day. By removing distractions and having systems of accountability, you ensure that your efforts are not wasted on trivialities, but are always aligned with your long-term vision. Finally, this principle builds character. Over team, consistently choosing focus over distraction and responsibility over convenience strengthens your self-control and willpower. You become someone who can trust themselves to follow through even when no one is watching. And this self-trust is the foundation of lifelong consistency. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the weather. Some days it shines bright, and other days it disappears entirely. Relying on motivation alone to stay consistent is like building a house. On sand it may stand for a while, but eventually it will collapse. Discipline, on the other hand, is the foundation that endures storms, fatigue, and distraction. To force yourself to be consistent, you must learn to act even when you don't feel like it, to show up when the excitement is gone, and to follow through regardless of mood or circumstance. Discipline is a choice, not a feeling. It is the decision to do what needs to be done, even when your mind and body resist. Consider an athlete training for a marathon. There are days when their legs ache, when the weather is unfavorable, or when sleep is lacking. Motivation might push them on some days, but discipline ensures they train every day, rain or shine. It is the consistent, deliberate action, the daily commitment, that transforms potential into performance. Similarly, in life, discipline bridges the gap between intention and achievement. Motivation might start the journey, but discipline ensures you finish it. Another critical aspect of discipline is building self-respect. Every time you honor a commitment to yourself, even when it is difficult, you reinforce your belief in your own capability. You teach yourself that your word is reliable, that your actions matter, and that your goals are worth the effort. Over time, this builds confidence, inner strength, and a sense of personal integrity that cannot be shaken by external circumstances or opinions. Discipline also creates momentum. Every consistent action, no matter how small, compounds over time. By showing up every day, you generate a rhythm that makes it easier to continue. Once the habit of discipline is established, the resistance to effort diminishes. What once felt like a struggle becomes routine, and your actions start producing results almost automatically. Motivation may come and go, but disciplined action creates a perpetual cycle of progress. Furthermore, embracing discipline teaches you resilience. Life will throw obstacles, distractions, and setbacks your way. Those who rely solely on motivation will falter when external conditions are unfavorable. Those who rely on discipline, however, have built the mental muscles to push through, to adapt, and to continue regardless of circumstances. Discipline transforms obstacles into stepping stones because it trains you to act despite discomfort, fatigue, or doubt. Discipline also fosters long-term vision. Motivation is often short-sighted, tied to immediate feelings or desires. Discipline, by contrast, aligns your actions with your ultimate goals, creating a trajectory that steadily leads towards success. It enables you to prioritize consistently over convenience, to invest effort today for rewards that may only appear months or years later. This long-term mindset is essential for achieving anything meaningful in life. Finally, when you embrace discipline over motivation, consistency becomes inevitable. You stop waiting for the right time or the perfect feeling. You take action because action is the habit, the rule, and the standard you set for yourself. This is the essence of forcing yourself to be consistent, not relying on fleeting inspiration, but cultivating the inner strength to show up every single day, no matter what. Over time, this discipline compounds, results multiply, and your life transforms in ways that motivation alone could never achieve. Consistency is the invisible thread that connects effort to achievement. It is not about waiting for motivation, inspiration, or the perfect circumstances. It is about showing up every single day and honoring the commitments you make to yourself. When you build non-negotiable routines, focus on small wins, remove distractions, stay accountable, and embrace discipline over motivation, you transform not only your actions but your mindset. Life rewards those who persist quietly, steadily, and intentionally. Talent may open doors, and ideas may inspire, but consistent action turns dreams into reality. Every small effort compounds over time, creating momentum that becomes unstoppable. By forcing yourself to be consistent, you cultivate resilience, self-respect, inner strength, qualities that carry you through challenges, setbacks, and doubts. Remember, the world does not measure you by how hard you feel or how motivated you are. It measures you by what you accomplish. Your habits, your discipline, and your ability to persist quietly and intentionally are what define your trajectory. Show up for yourself when no one is watching. Invest in the small, repeated actions that others overlook. Protect your focus, honor your commitments, and trust the process. In the end, consistency is not a task, it is a way of life. It is the quiet force that transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. If you can commit to showing up every day, regardless of circumstance, you will achieve more than most people dream of in a lifetime. Your results will speak louder than words, and your life will be a testament to the power of persistence, discipline, and unwavering commitment.